All right, everyone. We have quite the interesting article here for you today. So, this is remarkable great train robbery archive emerges 60 years later. Police chief's trove reveals unseen photos of gangs, getaways, cars, and bundles of money. So, this is from the Daily Mail. We're going to be learning about this together. Okay. Because I don't know a whole lot about this. So, this is going to be quite interesting. We could, put in the comments your reaction to different things. Maybe live react, right? When you hear something that's pretty crazy, put that in the comment section below. All right, let's get right into it. The personal archive of one of the detectives who headed up the Great Train Robbery investigation has emerged for sale more than 60 years on. Detective Chief Superintendent Ernest Millen was head of Scotland Yard's flying squad when the notorious multi-million pound heist was committed on August 8th, 1963. The extensive archive of files and evidence photos provide a fascinating insight into one of Britain's most infamous crimes, with some pictures of heist vehicles and bags of money believed to have never been seen. So it's pretty cool. So what we're getting here as we read on is the archive from Detective Chief Superintendent Ernest Millen. All right. Britain's biggest and boldest train robbery was orchestrated by London gang members, executed in 15 minutes, and prompted an international manhunt that spanned several decades. This thing was in 15 minutes. The case clearly had a big impact on Millen, who kept boxes of paperwork at his home long after the criminals had been caught. Booklets of photographs show suitcases and hodls with bundles of money piled in front of them, believed to have been seized after arrests had been made. There were also evidence photos showing close-ups of tampered signal, the inside of the train's high-value package carriage, a view of the bridge where they offloaded the money, and the hideout at a leather Slade farm in Buckinghamshire. All right, so we have some pictures here. The personal archive of one of the detectives who. Okay, so this is just an overall picture of everything. Pretty cool. Um, Here's another one. The extensive archives of files and evidence photos provide a fascinating insight into one of the Britain's most infamous crimes, with pictures of heist vehicles and bags of money believed to be previously unseen. Wow. Look at this. So, oh, this was a. Was that from the Evening Standard? It looks like. Wow. See the different pictures. Pretty cool stuff. Some show getaway vehicles left in rundown barns at the farm, camping equipment and food left in a hideout in the Royal Mail bags the money had been in. There is also a photo showing a pile of burning rubbish after the gang set fire to their hideout in a bid to get rid of all the evidence. The 16 criminals, led by Bruce Reynolds, targeted a Royal Mail train that was carrying bags of cash from Glasgow to London at 3:03 a.m. with a fake stop signal near Ledburn Bucks. They absconded with 120 sacks of money totaling 2.6, I think that's million euros, equivalent to 48 million euros today, the bulk of which has never been recovered. So they had 120 sacks of money totaling 2.6 million euros, and equivalent to 48 million. Like I said, I believe that's euros. Um, and the bulk of that has never been recovered. Wow. They made their own way to Leather's Slade farm, where their plan was to lay low until the furor died down. But after getting spooked by reports of police searching in the area, they decided to go on the run. Two of the gang had been tasked with burning down the farm, but did not do this. When the police arrived, the gang was gone, but they left plenty of evidence, including a Monopoly game that had been played with the stolen money, and fingerprints lifted from the scene gradually led to the identification of everyone involved. So they were supposed to burn down the barn. They didn't, and because of that, they got caught. Let's take a look here. Oh, so this looks like the barn they were in. Wow. Very, very cool. Right here, this is, I guess, right, the barn here. Looks like the stuff they burned, I think. These are the mugshots of the people involved. These old mugshots are crazy. I mean, this guy's got his hat on in that. Take a look. This guy looks crazy too. Photographs from the case, including an image of bundles of money, they were kept by Detective Chief Ernest Millen. Where's, oh, this is the money, I guess? I'm trying to look. Yeah, that looks like that would be the money. Oh, papers the Detective Chief Superintendent Millen kept for decades after the case. I mean, this is such a big deal, right? If you're allowed to keep this stuff, Who wouldn't keep it, right? Like, think about that. This is really, really cool. Oh, is this the getaway? This is taken at the farm. This is his personal items. Millen was promoted to deputy commander and assumed responsibility for the entire CID department 2 months after the heist and was at the very epicenter of the investigation. It was Millen who made the decision to publish the names and photographs of the suspects, a move which others strongly disagreed with. Even after they were identified, many of the criminals managed to avoid justice for years. The last of the suspects, Ronnie Biggs, was jailed in 2001, 38 years after the heist. In total, the syndicate received a cumulative 307 years imprisonment. So this happened in 1963, and he was on the run until 2001. And they had the pictures of him, and or maybe they just had the names. That is insane. It's really crazy. This archive includes a Met Police file type written by Millen and signed by him just 4 days after the heist to the assistant chief constable to coordinate the inquiries and make sure all police forces concerned were aware of the facts. There is a framed newspaper from the day of the robbery and a poster of the newspaper for a feature on Millen from 1970. Although the archive is focused on the Great Train robbery, it does cover Millen's entire police career. He started as a beat cop before the war, and the archive includes mugshots from his early career, as well as warrant cards, a passport, and other personal effects, including a published book script he wrote. Vince Scopes, a specialist at C&T Auctioneers who are selling the archive, said this has all come directly from Ernest Millen's house and have come to light after he passed away and the property was cleared out. But before that was done, Scotland Yard had already been into his property and removed other items deemed sensitive. This is what was left behind. So there was even more stuff, I guess, but it might not have been on this topic, anyways. The man the crooks feared. Yard Chief's amazing revelations. Look at that. That's crazy. One man squealed. 1 million. Biggest ever mail robbery. Photos of the detective chief, Superintendent Millen, along with membership cards and papers. So those are just more of the things we've seen. Here he is again. It just goes to show how important it was for Scotland Yard to come down and go through his belongings. And the archive shows how much the investigation meant to Millen. The majority of the stuff is related to the Great Train robbery. We believe the evidence photographs are unpublished. The ones of the vans, the Austin lorry they used in the raid, I haven't seen those anywhere else before. This is the first time to the market, and only other people that have handled it are the house clearance people. Thankfully, someone recognized the importance, and these bits of history got saved from the bin. It is really difficult to try and put an estimate on. It's a complete one off, so it's hard to gauge. The archive estimated at 800 will be sold at Canardington, Kent on November 30th. So I guess that these are the ones we might as well go back up and look at what they. So this, I guess, they're saying was unpublished, right? I think that's what they're saying here, or had never been published before. The Where's it? We believe the evidence photographs are unpublished. The ones of the vans, the Austin lorry they used in the raid. Okay, so this, my guess would be that, right? I think we're looking at that right there. Where is the van they're talking about now? Is this the van? This looks like more of a truck. Not really. I'm not really a car guy, but this is pretty darn cool, right? Maybe they're considering this right here. This could be, So these are the things that my guess is this right here was something they didn't have before, and um, probably this right here, right? All of this, probably all the stuff that they didn't have, or that wasn't not that they didn't have it before, but it wasn't published, right? Pretty cool. What an article here from the Daily Mail. I love the pictures they include too, because it gives so much more insight. I'm trying to look into some of the. I can't get over, even these like how it's kind of laid out here. But this was a stunning thing, and the fact that you had people who actually didn't get caught, or at least one guy until 2001, is crazy. They were playing Monopoly with the money that they stole. I mean, so I guess, and I would love to, we might have to do more videos on this topic. We can kind of learn, together here. I would love to know, had they actually succeeded in burning down the farm, would would they been able to get away with it, right? Like I think that's kind of an interesting point here. If two people were supposed to do it, they forgot and they were able to get so much from the fact they didn't. I mean, maybe they could still have found some stuff, but what a break, right? What a break. And I love that this guy was just like, man, this was a huge case, right? I'm in the paper for it. I'm gonna be keeping all this as a collection, and who could blame him for that? So I'm happy, we'll see. I guess we'll follow up when maybe a buyer comes out. If there's any more on this, we'll follow up on it certainly. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.